They terrorized, they hurt, and they committed the most awful of crimes but were never caught. Police invested years to find them and solve the crime, but to no avail. The criminals were either too lucky or too smart. Today on Plug In, we will talk top 5 criminals who were never ever caught. Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper was a serial killer who terrorized London in 1888. He was never conclusively identified, and his true identity remains a mystery to this day. Jack the Ripper's victims were prostitutes who worked in the East End of London. He was known for mutilating their bodies and would often remove organs from their bodies. The police investigated the murders with no success. Jack the Ripper was able to elude capture for a long time due to the lack of forensic evidence and the difficulty of police work in that era. The mystery of Jack the Ripper has captivated people for over a century. There have been numerous theories as to who he was, and many people have tried to solve the case. However, no one has been able to definitively identify him. D.B. Cooper. D.B. Cooper is a legendary figure known for hijacking a Boeing 727 airplane in 1971 and parachuting out of it with a large ransom. D.B. Cooper's story began on the afternoon of November 24, 1971, when he boarded Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 in Portland, Oregon. He was described as a middle-aged man wearing a business suit and glasses. He identified himself to the flight attendant as Dan Cooper and bought a one-way ticket to Seattle, Washington. Once the plane was in the air, Cooper passed a note to the flight attendant demanding $200,000 and 4 parachutes. He told the crew that he had a bomb, though he never showed it to them. After the flight attendant informed the pilot, the plane landed in Seattle, and Cooper's demands were met. He allowed all the passengers to exit the plane and, after the money and parachutes were brought on board, Cooper took off with the pilots again. After the plane reached an altitude of 10,000 feet, Cooper released the aft stairs and jumped out into the night. Despite the intense search by the FBI, D.B. Cooper has never been identified, and the case remains unsolved. The Long Island Serial Killer. The Long Island Serial Killer, also known as the Gilgo Beach Killer, has been an identified serial killer who's suspected to have killed over 10 people between 1996 and 2011. The victims have been identified as women, all of whom were either prostitutes or sex workers. They were found in various states of decomposition, ranging from partially decomposed to skeletonized remains, and their remains were spread out over a large area, making it difficult for authorities to determine the exact cause of death or establish a timeline of the killer's attacks. The police have established a task force, interviewing witnesses and searching for clues. They have also used DNA analysis to try to establish a connection between the victims and the killer, but have yet to find a definitive link. The killer still remains at large and probably is even active. The Phantom of Heilbronn. The Phantom of Heilbronn is the name given to an unidentified female serial killer who is believed to have committed at least 10 murders in Germany between 1992 and 2009. The murders took place in the city of Heilbronn, located in the Baden-Württemberg region of Germany. The victims were mainly elderly women, and the murderer used a variety of methods, including strangulation and stabbing. The killer remains unidentified, and the police have so far been unable to apprehend her. The case remains unsolved, and the Phantom of Heilbronn remains at large. Bible John. Bible John is the name given to an unidentified serial killer responsible for the murders of 3 young women in Glasgow, Scotland in the late 1960s. The nickname of Bible is given to the killer due to the fact that he was said to have quoted Bible verses during the time of the murders. Since the murders, police have launched a massive police investigation, literally one of the biggest police investigations in the world, but the case remained unsolved. Many the serial killers to Peter Tobin, another convicted serial killer and sex offender who was arrested for other crimes. Peter never confessed to the killings of Bible John, and police were not able to prove otherwise. If you liked the video, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. If you want to know more about such criminals who were never convicted of their crimes, then check out our previous video on the similar topic on our YouTube channel Plug In.